Frank from Planet 10 Studios here. I just want to say that I've had a world of experience in the prog rock setting that dates back to back when I auditioned for Dream Theater as their keyboardist, and shortly after that got a gig with guitarist Michael Angelo, and he was putting the finishing touches on an album, a prog album called No Boundaries, and he started up the audition process for the rest of his band. So he had a keyboardist with me, but he was looking for a bass player. We eventually found one, and he was looking for a drummer. And when it came time to finding a drummer, he auditioned a young guy by the name of Chuck White, and I grew fond of Chuck's playing. He had a very tenacious, very aggressive style, but at the same time he was pretty fluid when it came to playing to odd time signatures, and he did it with the greatest of ease. I said, you know, I could see a future partnership with this guy outside of the Michael Angelo realm, and it's been like 15 years, 15, 16 years now that I've been working with Chuck off and on, and he's kind of like my go-to drummer. And it's a pleasure for me to introduce Chuck to the whole world and to the Planet 10 Studio family and fans, and fans of prog rock who like that type of adventurous drumming. And Chuck happens to be the drummer for Ion Vane, and I've been wanting to, since the digital release in September, I've been wanting to ask him about his approach to drumming, to putting drum parts to riffs, complex polyrhythms, and all that good stuff, and arrangements. So I've got my buddy Chuck here.
Frank,
dude,
thank you for the kind words. Please.
Absolutely, yeah. First and foremost, how do you come up with the parts that you do? Do you feed off the riffs that you hear?
Yeah, it's more, just getting in there jamming, listen to what Chris has got, or Rob, or, even jamming with you, anything. I just like listening first, getting the main riff, and then getting that down, and then really digging into it, tearing it apart. Really listening to what people are doing, guitar, bass, or keys,
If you remember back in the day, you, me, Angelo, and bassist Mike Weeks we'd come in with no preconceived notions of anything. We would just start playing, and we would feed off each other. And Mike, Angelo would have the DAT tape rolling, and that's usually how our
I
tunes.
wish I had some of those tapes.
Oh.
Those would be interesting.
That's for another time, another place, and anyway, I remember coming up with some really incredible tunes.
Yes.
And they were spawned by just jam sessions that we had recorded on tape, and we'd use them for reference and go back to them and find some of the choice cuts, and there were our tunes. But with Ion Vane, is it a little more of the same?
With Ion Vane's kind of that whole jammy experience. A lot of this album was written with me and Chris, just hashing out riffs, me and him, and just going over everything and trying to make everything tight and heavy, and just kind of just letting things flow, instead of trying to make it work. Just playing and letting it happen. And I think with Chris, me and him work well together, where that just kind of naturally flows out of us, which is really cool, and that's why we're still here today, and we're going to bring you some new stuff tomorrow. And with the new 3-song digital release, the Enough, Anger Inside, and Love Hate.
Is that that's on iTunes?
iTunes? No.
That's where.
Not yet. It's a free digital release. Free. You can check that out at www.ionvein.com. Go there, get that free while it still is free.
Keyword being free. Now, I
'Cause
remember.
it won't be free forever.
No, it won't. So jump on that, Ion Vein fans. I remember some of the most insane jams that we used to have, and when we wrote, it was very similar to Dream Theater, where we'd come up with stuff and write stuff that was way beyond our level or
Comprehension?
or level or capability of playing, and we would work to that.
Yep.
Any more of that craziness in the Ion Vein
Yes.
sector? You come up with some crazy jams?
A lot of, Chris will come in with a lot of riffs, and it'll just be jamming on a riff and going from the riff to here, to here, to here, to here, to all different places to try to see what's going to meld, together to make that, that perfect song that we feel, is going to flow the best. We've had many a nights of just jamming, hours on end, riff over riff, and just splurting out, hours and hours of music.
Well, tomorrow they're playing Austin's Fuel Room in Libertyville, and I think that's an 8 o'clock show, so it's an early show. They're opening up for Testament. But I heard a little bit of the jam sessions going on in here tonight, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you hear and see tomorrow. Remember to visit www.ionvein.com and visit us also on the web at p10studios.com.
Yes, and White Castle don't have nothing on P10 Studios. There ain't no Crave there.
No.
The Crave is right here.
Oh, yeah.
P10 Studios.